Yoruba culture. I know nothing about Yoruba culture.
Well, the Yoruban culture is a Nigerian ethnic community. They're patriarchal in nature and they put a lot of emphasis on marriage.
The Yoruba people mostly speak Yoruba language, which is deeply tonal. I'm from Ekiti State. Ekiti forms the western part of Nigeria, and it is a Yoruba-speaking state. Ekiti has its roots in Oduduwa, which is the father of Yoruba race. The Yoruba people share a border with the Bogus of Benin, the Nupe and Ebira in central Nigeria, as well as the Eshan, Edo and Efemai of the Midwestern Nigeria.
Designer, me love a liner. No man can find her, she love me, for me, no one reminder. Say you love, give me joy. I'm so proud to be your baby boy.
My name is Anu. I'm a Nigerian living diaspora. This gele, it's a material. You can style it in different styles, and it's worn during happy occasions like weddings, graduations.
So in the Yoruba culture, we have different hairstyles. We have shuku, kolese, panumo, ikpakoelede, and many others. These are hairstyles that requires your natural hair to be braided in different forms. It brings out the natural beauty in an African woman. So these hairstyles are made to bring support to the headgear, which we showed you earlier on. The headgear, like for example this one I'm having, you see the way it has held my headgear in place. So when you have like an hairstyle like shuku, when you put it, it helps you hold your headgear in place and prevents the wind from taking it away.
Also this one, it's also an outfit from Nigeria. It's called Ankara, but in Kenya we call it kitenge. Okay, you can see it's like. And for this look, you have to put it on with this gele.
The Yoruba culture has different type of food, so many. I'm going to try and list few. We have amala. Amala is a food made of yam. There are two types of amala. There are the ones made of yam, and we have the one made of cassava. So the one made of yam is like brownish in color, while the one made of cassava is whitish, yellowish in color. So we have fufu. Fufu is whitish in nature, and it is solid as well. It can be eaten with egusi soup, ewedu, and other vegetables. Fufu can be pounded like the Ghanaians do. They usually pound theirs, and it can be turned over on fire. Yeah. So the Yoruba culture, like any other culture, has different religion, among which is we have the Christians, we have Muslims, we also have traditionalists who believe in gods like Shango. Shango is the god of thunder. We also have Ogun. Ogun is the god of iron. Ogun worshippers, when they want to worship their god or perform sacrifices to their god, they get a dog. They worship their god with a dog. They slaughter the dog and then spill the blood on the iron. That is the way they appease their god. Dance is one of the major things we do in our culture. The women shake their waists while the men jump, fly, and do all manner of dancing style. It's a very fun thing because it's things we do when we go for important occasions.
Iba o iba, mo gbọ́ mọ̀ mi pọ̀, mo pọ̀ mi iba o iba, mo gbọ́ mọ̀ mi pọ̀, mo pọ̀ mi.
And personally, I love it. So, the Yoruba have a lot of meat, and among which is how we were created. In the beginning, there was only the sky above, water, and marshland below. The chief god Olorun and the goddess Olokun ruled. The chief god ruled the sky, and the chief goddess Olokun ruled everything below. Obatala was another god, and then he went to Olorun for permission to create dry land for humans and animals to inhabit. A gold chain long enough to reach below, a black cat, a snail shell filled with sand, and as well a white hen and palm nuts as well, all of which he was to carry in a bag. The gods contributed what gold they had, and Orunmila supplied the articles for the bag. And remember, initially it was told to come with a long chain. So he used the long chain for a downward climb from the sky down. And as he was going, Orunmila instructed him to throw the sand-filled snail shell down, and also the white hen. So he threw the sand which was in the shell of the snail, and also the white hen. So whereupon the hen was thrown, it fell on the soil which was in the shell and started scattering it all over with its legs. You know the usual behavior of a hen? It started scattering it all over, which formed now dry land. Now, as the sand was thrown, where the smaller piles fall, it formed valley, and where the bigger piles of the sand fell, it formed hills. So Orunmila jumped on a hill and named the place Ife. The Yoruba is different from other cultures in the sense that the Yoruba people, let's say the Igbo people are mostly light-skinned compared to the Yoruba people, in which the Yoruba people are few light-skinned. Yoruba person cannot be identified by specific things, but there are certain things that we do that are very unique, such as the way we react when we are pissed off. For example, a typical Yoruba lady would roll her eyes when she's mad, something like this. And she'd hiss when she's pissed off. And in our culture, averagely, people are very temperamental and they get pissed off by certain things. So when you see someone who is really mad in Nigeria or who is really angry at petty things, that person can be said to be most likely a Yoruba person. Also, as a lifestyle, Yoruba people love to party. Like we have Owambe where we get to wear attires like this. We get to put on our headgear. Owambe parties with loud music and all that. So party is part of our lifestyle as well. People are very possessed, just like any other African country. It's just that it is very notorious in our place. Like, let me share you something that I once encountered. There was a time we were coming back from church. Me and my family, like Acacia, what is called a vigil. And we came across someone who was wearing white, and it was working in the midnight. What is he doing? Like, who walks in the midnight? He had that red thing on his head. It was a really scary experience for me as a child, but that made me understand that this thing is really real. is not what is portrayed in the movie. Because what would a normal person be doing at around 3 a.m. in the midnight, walking alone with a calabash on his head and a white linen? Is obviously performing some magic, let's say. So this thing is real. It's not movie alone. The Yoruba culture is a culture that upholds respect, and it requires children to always respect their elders. So in a Yoruba home, when you wake up in the morning, you prostrate as a guy or a man and greet your father and mother. And as a girl, you go on your knees and greet your parents. This is because the Yoruba culture sees our parents as a godly figure that requires to be worshipped in a way, and respected. It feels good to be identified as a Yoruba person, although most people say I look Igbo. Looks can be really deceiving though. But as a Yoruba, it's fun, the party life, you know. Just being called a Yoruba generally, you know, makes you feel good.